Okay, so today I wanted to try out a video about my settings because I run some pretty, oh man, weird ALCs. First thing you want to do before you start on a video is change your mic. If you're going to be talking over it, you do not want everybody hearing that. They don't want to hear it. You don't want them hearing it. Yeah, so I actually was attempting originally to record this and screwed it up. For some reason my settings were messed up and they couldn't hear me. Yeah, so all of my voiceover got destroyed. You'll see sometime in here where I start talking to some people, but it didn't get recorded. Here I'm showing my settings. This is them. This is the settings. I know. Trust me. It's weird. We're gonna talk a lot about it. But this is gameplay where I wanted to prove they work, you know? It does work. So, you know, just your typical gameplay here, and I never saw this. But this is one of the situations where it kind of fails you, right? Because most of the movement, whenever you're looking around, is going to be the max input movement, right? That allows you to turn around and focus on different enemies quickly. But with Bangalore's smoke, when you play on controller, you lose all aim assist, which is what actually causes the controller to slow down. Yeah, here I kind of was like, oh, Bangalore over there is pretty good. Let me swap over to the Digi threat. But yeah, so you see, like, a lot of my movement's fine. I can turn around really quickly, 20% on the outer threshold. What that adjusts is where it starts applying the maximum input, turning extra yaw, okay? Or extra pitch, depending. I don't really use a whole lot of turning extra pitch. I do use yaw though to spin, you know, spinning happening. So I also have a 3% dead zone because, you know, my controller's got stick to it. What are you gonna do, right? Yeah, we got smoke. That was really the only time where I could even see anybody. But you know, it's a thing. You lose rounds, you win rounds. It is what it is. I really like arenas. I'm a fan. You know, I know a lot of people aren't, but I am. So, welcome to the world. This is out of sight. All right, I'm gonna start trying. Yeah, I also use the Steam controls to allow for cap strafing on controller, but I'm terrible at it. So if you want to know how to do that, yeah. And you got beam potential. There's certainly beam potential, and you can still turn and look around and move just fine. Notice that guy a little too late. Also, the bang smoke kind of gets in your way, but I mean, like, it's so useful. I'm telling you. Here's a spot right here. This is where it really hurts you, but I still managed to pull something out here. Close range ADS. It's just a problem. That's why you see me like steadily backing away from them a little bit. But I mean, still okay. This guy, oh my god, he just kept punching me every time I would get set up and wait for the timer. There it is. Little beamage going on there. Oh, the horizon cue moved my thermite. You heard it just now start to go off. Oh god, it sucked. Yeah, that guy, eat shit. Okay, that wasn't a great thing, but if you see like how quickly I swapped targets, right? So I was waiting for the Bloodhound to move, but the bang peeked out, and I was able to quickly swap targets. I just did it again there. twice actually. Didn't hit any shots, but that was what I was trying to do here. You see it one more time. Moved for the bang, and then saw the horizon coming down and tried to get over there. And even there, I corrected a little bit too fast. So I mean, like with the low sense, you can still correct pretty quickly. And some hip fire. Hip fire is a feasible thing, you know? Just beat that Bangalore who had a PK by hip firing a 301. So I mean, like, it still happened. I'm in no way saying that I am just a really good player. Yeah, they didn't come this way. So, movie magic. Here we go. Yeah, I don't do great. I'm not good with the wingman, and I'm running a digi threat. I also play at 1080p. Man, I cannot see these people. But the micro adjustments where like you're just tweaking the aim, that's kind of why I wanted to run this one times, because the micro adjustments is where it really shines. And then here we go again. I come up close, I'm trying to hit fire, I try to ADS, and I am just not ready. Also, everybody in the other team is still up. But, you know, I mean, I missed my shots. Up close ADS is something that I really got to work on. I have just come back to these settings, but again, this isn't a video talking about how great of a player I am. It's a video talking about the weird settings that I use, and I like them. I mean, they work. It's hard to explain. That's why, I mean, like, you see this video, it's like 25 minutes long, something like that. I mean, it's rough, but I just absolutely love these settings, and I wanted to explain it and maybe help out a little bit. See some. Now here, this is just me being bad at the game. I should have been able to make those micro adjustments better. I mean, you see how low my settings are. I shouldn't be having that trouble. I tried to slide there, but I'm so terrible at the game. Oh my god. And I tried to climb that rail and jump over at it. Yay, my teammates help. I'm helping. But no, it's the hip God, what is it? The non-ADS, right? The non-ADS really has a lot of potential with this, because you almost instantly are maxing out your input, right? God, Bloodhound, I just do not like him. Anyway, I mean, he would punch me just while I'm sitting there just trying to get ready for the match every time. And then this guy's in my way. Got the stick, haha. Yeah, so from here on out, I'm really just showing the times where, like, it kind of works, you know? So, I mean, like, you see the tracking ability here. You know, I'm not a very good player. And really, my team's just not doing much. I'm kind of getting focused. I also have no idea where that thermite just went. Oh, thanks, Bloodhound. Finally using your abilities. And because my teammates are actually not... That is what it is. Ugh, I can't get off the thing! And what's Bloodhound sitting over here hitting a syringe? Again, this is a spot that you don't want to 3x anyway. But also the settings here are not very good. Oh my god, I did not realize how he was moving. Like, whenever I was playing this in real time, I did not realize how he was moving. Oh, feeling pretty good there. Little beamy. We might could make this work. No, we didn't. We lost. But, you know, in the words of Nicewig, we go again. So I'm running a 3% dead zone because I have a little bit of stick drift. 20% outer threshold, and that's where the really craziness starts to come in, and then a 12 response curve. So it's a lot of response curve and outer threshold. So for the first half of my stick movement, I've got almost no movement. It's very micro adjustments, and then I hit a spot where everything kicks in. It's the max amount that I've got on yaw speed and the max amount of the turning extra yaw that gets applied to your max input. So, you know, we're gonna talk a little bit more about it, but this, I just kind of really wanted to show that it's possible to use this. I've established that I am using these settings in this video. This is actually me using these settings. Here I turn on my mic and start talking to my teammates, but you can't hear my side because my OBS wasn't set up to my mic. That's where we're at with that.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I could hear him.
Is that working?
His friends.
My friend's isn't working.
He says his friend's mic wasn't working, but I totally heard him. Mine's not working. It was funny. That's me in the background going, are you sure? Because I heard him.
Yeah. There we go.
So this match I kind of did a little bit better and was actually able to make something happen. Another place where this kind of like becomes a problem is with Fuse's knuckle clusters. When you go to throw a knuckle cluster,
Get one for 25 with rockets.
it actually does begin to use your max input. So it's kind of like throwing grenades, I think. I believe that grenades also do that. They apply the max in, which it's really weird.
He's behind the rock right here.
Yeah. I wasn't able to make this happen, but I am able to adjust targets quickly. Oh, that right there kind of got smoked.
Nah, I'm on PC. He's on controller.
Yeah, I'm talking to these guys about I actually told them that I'm using some weird settings.
I use mouse and keyboard.
Making a settings video. That's the kind of thing that you can do with these settings.
Yeah.
The boys are in shambles over there. Oh no! Oh my god! This freaking Octane, no idea where he came from. Never saw him coming. He just absolutely melted me. But yeah, it's a thing. Things happen. Yeah. So like I said, I'm just kind of bouncing around a little bit on the game, kind of like just showing that like you can use them in these types of situations, and especially like this. It's just a beam and
they're both down there.
oh yeah. Oh, I have no idea how I survived this. I shouldn't have. Oh, and smoke again. My old nemesis. But the teammates cleaned it up, so we moved on. Again, this is in no way a video about how great of a player I am. It's a settings video. So, you know. Again, here's me using the wingman with the digi on it, which I am not good. Oh my god! This dude just scared the hell out of me. I was not ready for that at all. And then I couldn't even like slide, and now I'm like running away. It was bad. But I did turn. I mean, I turned around. I got him with one. You know, I'm not great.
I came down here. Hit him for 13. He's running. I'm gonna move back. You might be able to get the res. Oh, he's coming back. Nice.
Now I'm landing my wingman shots. Those micro adjustments, you know, like if the distance is like that, I'm gold. I'm gonna be able to smack you. But you know, that's what this is made for. What these settings are made for. So now I'm gonna head into the firing range a little bit and explain this. I'm gonna try to explain it the best that I can. Because what I'm really hoping to establish here is some really weird settings that I've like toyed around with the ALCs a lot to find something that just kind of like works for me. And I want to explain some of this stuff a little bit better so that maybe somebody who's out here looking for settings that could benefit them, you know, people who are looking for these videos, looking for settings, they're trying to find something that works for them, right? So I'm using 150 turning extra yaw, which is the additional input added whenever you reach the maximum input, which is that outer threshold that I've adjusted down to 20%. And 105 at yaw speed, 100 at pitch speed. I mean, those could probably be even, but again, I'm talking about like you can try this and then tweak it, you know, or just kind of like take from this what you will. The 20% outer threshold right there. What that does is at that point is where it starts to add in that extra, right? So almost as soon as I start trying to turn, it immediately adds the extra. I don't have to actually click my thumbstick all the way against the sidewall. It just starts. So whenever I'm like at the point that it's no longer an aiming adjustment, it's a turning adjustment, it begins to add that turning extra yaw, that 150 on top of my 105. So, you know, with target compensation on, right? One of the things that happens here, right? This is your aim assist. Whenever you're turning, the turning extra yaw stops being applied whenever the aim assist starts to take effect. So all that extra turning extra yaw that I've got goes away. So I'm only turning through that as fast as I actually have set up for the standard ADS pitch and yaw, right? That's all that gets applied is the pitch and yaw that I have set up. So even once I get to the point of maximum input, it no longer adds the turning extra because the aim assist is taking effect and it's slowing me down. So one thing that you're going to see here, again, I'm not great, but something that you'll see here is that I can click my stick whenever I'm not pointing at someone, and there's a lot more movement. But that's me clicking the sticks left and right while targeted on an object that causes aim assist to take effect, right? But whenever you're not pointed at something like that, it stops taking effect, or the aim assist stops taking effect, and the turning extra yaw is applied. So what can happen essentially is that this controls feel perfectly normal whenever you're not pointing at someone, but when you are, it feels like you're really, really slow, right? But it's not too slow that you can't target up and actually start firing. It's slow enough that it keeps you from making those overcorrections, which is something that I'm very guilty of. I mean, I've used everything. I've used the little foam things, the foam rings that restrict your movement. I've used increased stick tension on an Elite Series 2 controller. This is me moving around, clicking the thumbsticks left and right whenever I'm like pointed at something that isn't causing aim assist to take effect. This is me doing it with something that is. See the amount of movement change there? That's me clicking the thumbsticks to the side. That's smack, 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 smack. Smack, 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 smack. That's how much it moves. That's the difference in movement. And for me, that slowdown there, and me having to overcome the slow movement of my reticle versus the chance that I'm overcorrecting is just something that works. It works for me. Maybe it'll work for you. Maybe it's something you could try out and kind of adjust a little bit, and you can understand the turning extra yaw and the outer threshold a little bit better. My response curve is really low too, so I've kind of got like almost no movement and then a whole lot all at once. But it took me a second to kind of get used to when that occurs and when it doesn't. But It honestly didn't take that long. It felt natural. So here's something that they do. This is the best way that I can put it, right? Is that they do this in golf all the time, right? Professional, like highest ranking golfers, highest skill level golfers in the world. They adjust the club to the swing. They don't adjust the swing to the club. So what I'm doing here is I tweak these controls to where they are way outside of the norm that you're gonna see, right? I'm not fixing to like pick up Tiger Woods' club and be able to hit like Tiger Woods. Because if Tiger Woods picked up my club, he wouldn't hit like Tiger Woods. I adjusted the settings to fit my mind and the way that I react to recoil, the way that I react to target acquisition, the way that my thumbs react to my reticle being off of the target. What type of movement do I do naturally that I can adjust the game and its engine to understand as a reacquisition of target. So instead of changing how I move my thumbsticks, I'm going to change how the game reacts to my thumbstick movement. You get what I'm saying? So again, right, you change the club to fit the swing, you don't change the swing to fit the club. And that's something that Apex has really done really well here. They've given us a lot of adjustability in the club, which is the game engine, the way that it reacts to your inputs. You've given us just a ton of options here so that we can adjust the way that these things react to perfectly fit the way that our mind interprets the action that's needed. So you can just make it do whatever it is that you need it to do, and you don't have to change the way that you're reacting to the situation. You can keep that. You can actually just take that and master the way that you're reacting, and make it work for you, because it can. You know, I mean, we have these adjustability options, and so that's what I've done. I looked at a few things, but really just to understand those settings a little bit better. And then I took the settings and have just made them my own. This is really weird. Like you can change this if you're more used to it being faster turning. You know, I mean, like you can really move around, but it still will slow you down and remove that turning extra yaw whenever you point up on somebody. And I'm in no way just some absolute monster at this game, right? I'm not fixing to be out here 1v1ing and smoking Janks or Moose or somebody like that, you know? I can do what I can do, and you know, I give it my best. I'm not good. But I felt like, you know, every time like people ask me what my ALCs are, like what kind of settings I'm using, I explain it to them, and they think I'm absolutely insane, or they like just accuse me of lying. So I mean, this is what I use. These are my settings, and I'm telling you, it feels like it's demon time. And I understand completely that this is not going to work for everyone, right? This is going to feel just completely insane to you. But this is me trying to explain to you that it doesn't have to be what everyone says is the best in order for it to be the best for you. So play with it, you know, adjust some stuff. Try to focus on some of the things that you're doing wrong. Watch yourself, record some of your gameplay, and then watch what you do as if it isn't you, you know? And then you can use that to adjust your controls to mitigate the things that you do, or to adjust the way that the game reacts to the things that you do to make the outcome what you want to happen, you know? Because it's not so much about like how well you do at copying someone else's style. It's what's a win and how do we get there. Those are the things that you need to be asking, right? So yeah, you know, I'm also using some controls that are the Steam inputs that allow you to tap strafe, but I'm god awful at it. If you want to know how to do that, or if you want to see some tutorials on that, watch a different video. go watch somebody else. Like this isn't a tutorial, right? This is me just explaining that you don't have to follow the status for your settings, you know, and it can work, right? I mean, again, I'm not a monster at this game, but I'm not bad. I'm like, you can still be deadly without having just the fastest controls possible, or, you know, using exactly what Galtouche runs, you know? I don't know. I'm trying to think of other major controller players, like Nicewig, or God forbid you try to compare yourself to Ecstasy. I mean, just chill, bro. Be you, you know? Do the thing that you do best, right? And adjust the controls accordingly. Man, who have I not mentioned? Crazy Ratchet, actually. He has a whole series where he's doing a lot of pointers and tips and stuff that are just really good. I mean, I would highly recommend checking that out. Yeah, so that's about it. This is really just me kind of like getting set up. Actually, whenever I adjusted that earlier, I was talking about how you could speed it up and make your turning, non-ADS turning, a little snappier. I actually kind of wound up liking that a lot. So that's my new settings, that end part where I upped it to 150 and 200, I think, somewhere around 200. But yeah, so it's a thing, right? And there I wound up doing it again. I don't know if you saw that, but I overcompensated. Whenever I get a little bit off target, I wind up moving too much. I'm a strong thumb in it, if you will. Just the thing that I mess up on. And so I've adjusted my controls to keep that from derailing my gameplay. So yeah, I know I'm running a completely purpled out 301. Again, I'm not saying how good I am at the game. I'm saying that I have really weird settings that work for me. Yeah, so 200, 115, 150. Dead zone at 3% because I have a little stick drift. I would really rather that be 0, but I mean, I just can't. It doesn't work very well for me. You know, 115 to 150 there between your pitch speed and turning extra yaw. And then my ADS, this is where the coup de grace is. 150, 100. I mean, 105, 100, 150, and 30. I've got a little turning extra pitch in there just to help for whenever I'm having to look up. Mistakenly identified where the enemy is. But yeah, so that's them. That's my setting. I run target compensation on, and yeah, you know, adjust your settings to make it work for you. Also, if anybody actually tries these, I'm telling you, it's gonna feel like it's laser beam city over here. So like, you know, if you want to take a shot at it, turn these controls on, and yeah, you know, tell me what you think. It's weird, but it works. It really does. These are my graphics settings. Oh no, this is the reticle. I run like a teal. I forgot what I was doing here, sorry. I run kind of a teal, but it makes it, like, I can see it. I can see it in everything. It's not too bright to where like, it's overwhelming or anything like that. I've seen some people who have like this really bright blue or purple, but it just, I couldn't run that. The teal just really works for me. And so yeah, so that's where we're at. Just, you know, try it out. Hit me up in the comments if you feel like it. And later.